Robak from Phoseon, and Marcus asked us to present on LED technology, and when sitting down to the presentation, I thought maybe it's not as exciting to tell you now 15 minutes about LED technology, so I tried to combine LED and what it means for future packaging trends and how this technology enables also other technologies to provide a more sustainable packaging. So first of all, some words about Phoseon Technology. Phoseon Technology has been on the market now for over 20 years. We invented the UV LED lamp 20 years ago, shipped over 150,000 units worldwide, and are 100% LED focused. So all we do is LED technology in different industries, not only printing, but also in coating, in adhesives, and in chromatography, imaging, and other medical processes as well. And we not only sell a product that makes our customers or OEMs, in that case, more sustainable, or their machines more environmental friendly. We as a company also try to achieve this, being CO2 neutral during our production, and also recycling all our waste back into the production cycle. Why has LED in the past 20 years, let's say, enabled others to provide more interesting technologies like digital printing, for example? Well, it's first of all very energy efficient. You get a very long lifetime and a low temperature, and these are key elements of operating economics. So the low temperature enabled different products, different substrates to be used. You do get advanced capabilities by being able to get the energy you need from the lamp when you need it. It's a very stable, repeatable, and precise process when curing. And at the end, well, it is eco-friendly, so it's completely mercury-free. There is no waste stream, there are no waste products, there are no spare lamps that have to be replaced. And it's safer for the workplace and the workforce, because there is no UVC or UVB being emitted. It's only a UVA lamp. Why do we see that there are future packaging trends connected to LED? Well, LED is part of Industry 4.0, and part of Industry 4.0 is the Internet of Things, where an LED lamp fits in very, very well. The process is controlled. It can be controlled remotely. It can be controlled online. You do get a data feedback from the lamp. So this is, again, what we saw before with Bobst Connect or other companies using this cloud-based communication and data acquisition. You can now integrate also your curing lamps into it. Curing is important during any printing process, because if the product is not cured well, then your machine delivers a product that is not satisfactory to your customers. IoT I mentioned already, so an LED lamp can be monitored, communicated with, which was impossible in the past with very mechanical mercury-based lamps. You have almost no maintenance to LED lamps, and that makes it also very user-friendly. So the world of packaging is changing now, and we heard this in all the presentations before, how it's changing. And it's not only about just containing a product, and protecting the content. It's now about presenting your product to your consumers. It's connecting the product to the consumers, but also connecting the consumer to the product. And this is all done with very innovative materials, innovative trends, like some of them I will mention in the next slides. Digital technologies and materials and processes are transforming our industry nowadays. And all this is part also of how we produce these packaging materials and what we can use to produce them. And it has a very critical role to play in what we call today the circular economy, and it's not part of the problem, it's rather part of a solution. The circular economy, everyone is familiar with it, so raw materials out, and we can reuse the waste and feed it back into the loop. And looking at packaging now, so what I try to do is I try to pick some macro trends here that we see in the field, that we hear back from our customers that are using our lamps. And the trends are, well, first and foremost, it's sustainability. The new mantra now that everybody hears and reads is reuse, reduce, recycle, the 3 Rs. With the new generation coming up, the millennials and the Z generation even, they're much more aware of what they buy, how they buy, and how they consume. So packaging is also part of it. And the way we present the products and the way the products are, the way they feel even has an impact on if they are sold or left on the shelf. Customization we see now quite a lot. It's not only 3D printing, but it's also late-stage customization of labels, packaged goods, and products like the speaker before with printing on 3D products. That's also for probably much smaller quantities that are individualized. We see smart packaging, additive manufacturing, and a lot of customization is taking place. Sophisticated and minimalistic labels that are being produced now, so they are very gender neutral now. They are focused very much on individuals. Vintage packaging is popping up everywhere. It's because we as a society are getting older, which is good, we live longer, but that means that old brands are being reused and renewed, and that has an impact on label production as well. So, okay, it's stuck again, the slides. Can you help me, please? Okay. When I use the mouse, it worked then. Let's see. So the global enabling technologies nowadays for these macro trends, well, it's the Internet of Things, which is part of Industry 4.0. And here we see that this has an impact that is very profound and far-reaching. There are technologies like the QR data matrix codes, which connect the brand to the consumer, giving him more information on the packaging that can be put on the packaging by using your mobile phone and using apps. RFID tags are being used now widely. Okay, they have 20 years ago the technology started, but nowadays we see them more and more. NFC antennas are being implemented and integrated, and now augmented reality is also taking place with products giving feedback to the consumer. And also IoT gives us the possibility of implementing security, authentication, and connectivity to the product. And in parts of the world, QR codes are being used to track and trace certain products, trace them even back to where they come from, so that they cannot be duplicated or sold under with different labels on different brands. What is also important nowadays is the feedback that brands get from the products, and that feedback can also be used to make a product better. And feedback in consumer products that are on the shelves, well, how to get the feedback from that? Having a smart label that allows you to use your mobile to simply log on somewhere where you can leave feedback concerning that product. What are the technologies that are enabling all this? Well, these technologies, and these are the technologies that we as Phoseon also work in, like printed electronics. in the past, RFID antennas and NFC antennas had to be inserted as a physical product. Now we can print them with lower temperature LED lamps. You can actually use electronic inks. You can use other technologies that allow you to print these antennas in an inline process on flexo presses, for example. Digital printing has, as EFI and Bob Steven and others have talked before, is being used to customize the packaging with QR codes, data metrics codes, nanotechnologies that we see, very innovative and novel coatings that give the product a special feel, a special use, functional materials. They are all being developed now, with LED being the enabler to allow these materials to be used because of its properties. We see 3D printing now taking off much faster than in the past. Also there, new materials for 3D printing can be used because of LED technology. LED in general allows you to use new materials that can be used for packaging. It's a much safer, low migration process, so food contact materials can now be used also with UV inks, which in the past it was much more difficult. So that means that monomaterials can be used instead of multi-layer materials. Monomaterials are very much easier to recycle than multi-layer materials. And at the end of it all, well, the LED lamps are using up to 80% less energy. So every little penny helps, and to save the planet, but also when we're talking about energy costs, to reduce your own cost in manufacturing. That's all from me. Thank you very much.